Well, still on the show, we continue to our next stop, Ogun State, to meet with yet another young man, Mayowa Awopeju, who left the four walls of a bank and HR consultancy to follow his passion, which is, your guess is as good as mine, shoe production.
My name is Mayowa Awopeju. I'm the creative director of MV Signature. MV Signature has two segments. So we have the shoe factory and we have the garment factory. So at the shoe factory, we do a lot of school sandals, security boots, and we do a lot of personal designs as well. So if you want to produce your design, we do that as well. First degree was in banking and finance. After my master's, I came back to Nigeria. The hustle of getting a job, looking for a job, and I actually got a job as an HR manager in a company. And what struck me was, what I was earning as a salary was less than my monthly allowance when I was in school. It was about 40% less. And after that what struck me, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. And that was it for me. So entrepreneurship wasn't more like I was born with it. It was more like something that had to lead to that struck in me that, okay, you know what, I want something better. I want to do something better. So shoe business wasn't even in the picture at the time. When I left my job, everybody was surprised. My parents were the believer, like, just, manage. You start from somewhere and you go into something. I was like, no, I can't do this anymore, So I left my job without having a clue what I was going to do next. It was just a lot of prayers and praying, consultations and stuff, and say, what can I do? What next for me? Should I look for? I was looking for another job, but it was a difficult market. It was very challenging. And I remembered in uni, when I was in my master's, so shoe was always a therapy for me. When I was sad or I'm bored, I just go into a shop and get myself a shoe. And that's a kind of relief for me, buying shoes. I don't necessarily wear them. I just like seeing them, buying them, but trust, they're not expensive shoes, so I could afford a bit more. So it wasn't about the expense, but I just love the shoes, the designs. I just buy them and keep. Sometimes I wear it, sometimes I don't. And I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm like, oh, we can create brands like Aldo, Zara here, and so it took me in 2013 to 2014 doing a lot of research, looking at a lot of manufacturers, looking at a lot of ways shoes can be made, how to build a shoe brand and everything. So it took me a year to draw up a business plan, to draw a realistic business plan. So it's not just about writing words on papers. It has to be realistic. It has to be fit within your environment. It has to work in the country you're in. So when I was starting my business, I didn't have one naira. I didn't have one naira in me. It was crazy, but I had the idea. I had the vision of what I wanted to do. So it was just about sourcing for funds. Trying to source for funds and create my design. So I used to have this artistic friend. He knows how to draw very well. So I always go to him and say, look, I have this design, I have this imagination that, can you just help me sketch out my imagination, like what I'm thinking? Can you sketch it out for me? So we did a lot of sketches and everything. So that's how I built up my portfolio of designs. So what I now did next was to partner with a factory. We send them our designs. They interpret the design into shoes. Once I approved the design, so we now go ahead with the bulk order. So about then, I used to have like about 1,000 pieces of shoes in my room. I always have this shoe stack. My room was like the shoe stack, and I had a car then. So every morning I wake up, stock up my boots with 20 pairs of shoes, driving around Lagos looking for people to buy shoes. So that's what I did that for about 3 years, since 2014, not until I did that. I got a lot of money, funny enough, so growing the business. Within that 3 years, I think I had about 11 designs. So I've done like 11 orders, different orders. So if I'm to total up all my orders within those years, would have been up to about 5,000 orders. So I was able to push 5,000 shoes through. Well, we did a lot of this online stores, selling on online platforms, personal contacts, friends, family, driving around Lagos, approaching people to, we have the school shoes, durable shoes, do you want to buy? We struggled a bit. So now I had to go back to the books and say, okay, what have I done wrong? How can I recoup? How can I change? At that point, I knew that I can't work for anybody. Not like I can't work for anybody, but it's, I already used to big money, so I was like, working for people is like starting from the scratch, and I didn't want to go through that stress anymore. So now I had to look for what can work. Actually, before then, we tried to diversify into tailoring. So what I do was, I approach friends and tell them, we make clothes and everything, take the measurement and I'll source it to this tailor that used to make my clothes and a clothes for my brothers and everything. I'll source it to him. I tell him, okay, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. What I realized was there was a lot of disappointment, so that crashed the business entirely. So I could give him like 2 clothes, for example, to make in a week. There was a lot of disappointment. Maybe he doesn't even make the clothes in like a month, 2 months. So I lost a lot of customers with that. At that point, I'm like, this tailoring thing is not for me because I can't make clothes. So I actually abandoned that. This was when the dollar crisis was happening as well. So we went back into the books and said, what can we do differently? I now figured that it's the right time to have a shoe factory. To see what we could do with having a shoe factory. So what I did was, we now start accumulating resources. Start doing a little bit of research about the shoe factory industry, how it runs, how it works and everything. So with that, we started buying things, acquiring things with the help of family, friends. We now set up the shoe factory. This is where it all starts from, the designs. So this is where we get the patterns for any shoe we want to make. So this is the design department, whereby we design whichever shoe we want to make. The design is being made from shoe displays. So this is what we need to make designs, the shoe last. This is where the design is being formed of them. So these are part of the designs and pattern making and everything.
In footwear, standard footwear company, it starts with designing. Designing, I used to tell people, simple illustration is just like a strong room to the bank. That's footwear designing for you because it is the genesis. This company has started on standard. And as a matter of fact, we are not going to relent.
When the designer finishes designing, he gives it to the cutter. When the cutter cuts the components, he brings it up here to join the components together. After the components have been joined together and he gives you like the shoe shape, it goes back downstairs to the last department. So they all work intertwined together like a circle. The garment factory make a lot of uniforms. So we're strictly producer of uniforms. So we do a lot of uniforms. We try to shy away from daily attires. So we focus more on uniforms. So with this, we do a lot of uniforms. Our capacity is about 1,000 uniforms a month. So we produce like 1,000 uniforms a month across 3 vendors. We get patterns, we job the patterns, we cut the materials, the fabrics, and we start joining. So it's a bit more the same. So when we finish joining the materials together to get the shirt and everything, so it goes to the button tacker, and it goes to the buttonholes machine. So that's what she's doing at the moment. He's doing the cutting. So it's pretty much the same kind of technique involved. So that they are sewing leather, all this place was sewing fabrics. So that's like the major distinguished factor. So those are like the ready uniforms, ready to go. The number of times I spent with shoes, I see shoes in my dreams sometimes. Would I want to go back to a 9 to 5? I built an empire, and I can't abandon that because I've nurtured it from the very start. So it's something I hope to, to leave for my kids, something they can feed upon, building a legacy. And say, oh, you know what, we did this, we did that, we did that. So with the shoe factory and the garment factory, and I think with a bit more hard work, we will get there to the point whereby we start exporting our products, whereby we have orders from all the way from all around Africa saying uniform supplies, shoe supplies, and we have to export it to all part of Africa. So I don't think so right now that I have to go back to 9 to 5. I don't think I can do 9 to 5 anymore. I can remember sometime I had to come into the factory by 12 a.m. I had to do something. And I just I just drove out of the house and I came to the factory 12 a.m. to actually sort something they needed for the next morning, so it doesn't disturb the production. So for all the entrepreneurs, it's not about 9 to 5, it's actually 9 to 9. So we're working round the clock. So I don't think you want to leave 9 to 9 how much will you now make to 9 to 5 from 9 to 9? So no, I can't go back to 9 to 5. So this is not your regular 9 to 5. This is my way of life, the way I live.